Hi, my name is Michael Prather, and this is Module 3 in ADC660. I'm to record my emotional responses on this video and then answer a few questions. The first question we want to look at is, where did my responses come from? The second one was, what happened that triggered these responses? The third question is, what do I remember about similar experiences throughout my childhood? And what does this tell me about my own current button? So let's get started on Friday. Last Friday, I woke up in the morning about 9 o'clock, and that's unusual because I only work nights. But I was off that night, and I've been working 60-plus hours a week, so I've been pretty tired. I work every day, but I had that evening off. And I woke up in a good mood. The wife was there, lived like a normal life, and it felt really good. I really enjoyed sitting in my own bed overnight with my wife. And it brought back some good memories of when I was a kid. I remember, in particular, being happy, and I related it to the fact that when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember being in the backyard, and I can see the clear blue skies. I can smell the grass. I can be on my swing set swinging, and I just felt free and carefree and free, and just enjoying the beautiful warm day here in the Midwest. I was free from chores that day. I was free from a lot of things going on at home. And so I really enjoyed that day. And I kind of relate that at that. Whenever I feel happy and content, I think of that day. Later on in the day, I was a little more angry. I was heading to work later on, and a guy cut right in front of me in the car. And I got to tell you, there's nothing angers me more. I was angry, almost a road rage incident. I was so upset. And where that response came from is because I think when I was a kid, my dad taught me respect for the rules of the road. I've been driving cars since I was 5 years old. I mean, I grew up on a farm. We had farm vehicles. And so I always learned a lot of respect. My father taught me that about the rules of the road. No matter what, they're dangerous vehicles. They can be killed. They're important. You don't want to hit people. You want to be respectful. And I felt like I got disrespected. In addition, he traveled below the speed limit all the way to work, which of course I was angry about because I like to drive the speed limit at least, and I was running late. So part of me was upset with myself, part of me was upset with his behavior. It was just a very frustrating event for me. Later on, I was frustrated later on, not angry, but frustrated because I had a client that came in intoxicated in the middle of the night and then left again to go get drunk some more. And that's frustrating, and not so much that he was drunk is that sometimes I take these things personally, and so I felt like I failed him or I failed myself, or just a range of emotions where I was angry with myself and what did I miss? Why didn't I figure this out? And that stems from, I think, as a child, my mother was an alcoholic, and so those responses, I had similar responses in my childhood. Where did I fail my mother? She passed away. Did I fail her? And so when she passed away, I blamed myself for years. Like, how did I not see this? How did I not help? Was I too mean? Was I not good enough? All those came from my childhood. And so that was a rough night. Then I moved it on to Saturday. I'll look at my notes here a minute. On Saturday, I was annoyed with myself because I woke up tired and probably still a little frustrated about the day before. And I wasn't very nice to my wife. I got home and she was sitting on the couch behind me here. I was looking at her Farmville or whatever, and dogs had barked all day, and I got up several times to take them out. I needed my rest, and I just felt she should have done more, so I treated her kind of cold shoulderish. I was tired, and I just didn't treat her nice, and I was angry the whole time. Didn't tell her, just bottled it up, kept it inside. I thought she went shopping and just spending money we didn't have, blah 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 blah. I'm working all these hours. She shouldn't be spending money. Just stewing in my own anger, probably because I had to work and because I wasn't happy about going to work and I was tired. Where'd that come from my responses from my childhood? Yeah, probably somewhere. I guess a lot of it stems back from my mom. She spent a lot of time on the couch, drunk and not caring for me, and sometimes I felt like maybe she should have done more, and I thought my wife should have done more as well. Of course, I later called and apologized, realizing that I was just being selfish and foolish, but I was still nevertheless frustrated and angry at the time. And later on, I was calm and control. I walked into work, and there's a couple residents arguing with each other heatedly. And I had to step in. I had to be calm. I put the therapeutic hat on. I had to be calm, and I wasn't upset. I was calm, and then they started ramping up more and got him trying to get between them and back them both up in a commanding voice, and that was what I did. I learned that from my father, who was a colonel in the Air Force before he passed away, and so I had to use that, and that made me angry that I had to step into that role with these two because I felt like I was going to lose control of the situation, and I had to step up and do that. And I was angry I had to do that because these two residents I thought were in pretty good places, but personalities happen. And it was another frustrating incident in the end, but I had to exercise calm and collectness in the situation. And then finally, once again, I was frustrated later on. Frustrated a lot, aren't I? As I had went, and this is just really, it's a little different here, but I was frustrated because I went to buy gas and to get lottery. I always buy lottery. We buy the same numbers every week. Anyway, I have my tickets filled out. I played the lottery. We spend $8 a week. Big deal. But anyway, we do it, and then we do it religiously when we have fun with it. Anyway, I played the numbers, and I got them back, and I'm like, hey, where's my other ticket? And the guy goes like, well, there's no other ticket. I said, what do you mean there's no ticket? There's $2 here and $2 here. It's $4. Anyway, I got the ticket. I look at it, and he said, and I said, print another one. So he did, and we did. It took my numbers, and it added one to it. How the computer did it, I don't know. But I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I had to spend more money, $2 more to get the numbers that we always play. And I was like, this is ridiculous. A, I was spending more time than I wanted to. B, I was tired. C, I was frustrated. Just didn't want to deal with it. It didn't make any sense to me. But I bought it and we went on. And where that came from is I'm always in a hurry. When I was a kid, I was always in a hurry. I was always, I don't like ignorance. I don't like things to mess up. I just like things to be the way I like them, and I think that's from me from being an only child. I'm used to having things my way, and I'm probably a little narcissistic in that manner at times, and I like things my way, and that's what wasn't happening. Things weren't going the way I anticipated them to do. Nevertheless, that was that day. The next day was Sunday, and let's see, Sunday, I woke up pretty happy. Wife had dinner on the table. And then once again, I was thrilled because I never really had that as a child. So I was really appreciative of having that. Suddenly that I had dinner on the table as a kid. And I really felt like she went above and beyond to help me out. And that made me feel good. And the second thing, I was content. I got to spend time with my dogs and animals that day. That's right. That's why I was content. I love my animals. I grew up on a farm. I always had animals. And although I wasn't supposed to name them, according to my father, I named them anyway because they're like my pets. I enjoyed spending time with them. So I had a really good morning. I was content. I had from spending time with the animals. I was somewhat rested. I had a dinner on the table, and so on the way to work, I said, "Well, I'll stop and check these lottery numbers that came up. I got last night." And guess what? Happy again. Why? And amazed. Because the numbers that were misplayed that the computer spit out to me actually won me $4. How it happened, I have no idea, but it did happen. So it's really quite an amazing day, and I don't know if that came from anywhere in my childhood, but I got to tell you, I enjoyed that day. What does this tell me about how my current buttons are? It tells me that I'm frustrated, that I spend a lot of time frustrated. It's like I'm manic depressive. I'm high or I'm low, bipolar here. And I think that's from the work and the amount of hours and this and that. And I'm frustrated at times about things. And I'm not sure if it stems back from my childhood, but I'm probably sure it does. So my behaviors are modeled, I think, from my father and from my mother and my home life. And so I want my home life to be different. I want my home life to be like I want it, like I envisioned as a child. And it's not always that way, and that's frustrating because where I failed once again. So yeah, I think there's a lot of issues there. That I think those issues, my emotions are somewhat derived from those days, and I constantly need to work on them. Now this exercise has revealed to me that I do exhibit those behaviors, and things are family from the family system. I need to work on that a little more, and I'll do that. I thank you for your time, and God bless, and we will talk at you soon. Bye-bye.